Imagine wasting hours of your life trapped in traffic bumper to bumper, barely moving, watching the clock tick away. Time you could have spent with your family. Time you could have spent building your future. For millions of people in Metro Manila, this isn't a once-in-a-while nightmare. It's everyday reality. But now, something massive is finally changing the game. After decades of delays, failed plans, and broken promises, a long-awaited solution is finally rising above the chaos. And it could transform the way Filipinos travel forever. This is the story of the Tutuban-Malolos Railway, one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects the Philippines has ever seen. For years, Manila has ranked among the most traffic-congested cities in the world. A trip that should take 30 minutes can easily turn into a 2-hour ordeal, draining energy, killing productivity, and costing the economy billions every single year. But relief may finally be on the horizon. Enter the North South Commuter Railway, or NSCR, the largest railway project in Philippine history. At the heart of this megaproject is the Tutuban-Malolos Railway, also known as PNR Clark Phase 1. Spanning 38 kilometers, this line is a key part of the much larger 147-kilometer Clark-Calamba railway system, designed to connect the northern and southern parts of Luzon like never before. And once it's fully operational, the impact could be enormous. The entire network will feature 36 stations, dramatically cutting travel times, boosting economic growth, and completely reshaping public transportation across the region. But getting here wasn't easy. The vision for a Manila to Clark railway dates all the way back to the 1990s. Yet, every attempt to bring it to life hit roadblock after roadblock. Funding problems, political shifts, and even corruption scandals. In the early 2000s, the government launched the North Rail project with support from China. But allegations of overpriced contracts and corruption eventually forced the project to collapse. For years, the dream of a modern railway system seemed impossible, until things finally started to change. By 2013, momentum began building again. In 2015, the project secured approval. And after decades of waiting, construction finally broke ground in 2019. What's being built today is more than just a railway. It's a full-scale engineering revolution, with an estimated cost of 873 billion pesos. The NSCR is now the most expensive railway project in Philippine history. And one section, in particular, could completely change daily life for hundreds of thousands of commuters: the Tutuban to Malolos line. Right now, traveling between these 2 points can take an exhausting hour and a half. But once the railway opens, that same trip could take just 35 minutes. Think about that. Thousands of hours saved every single day for an estimated 300,000 passengers. And this project isn't only about speed, it's about building a smarter future. The entire railway is fully elevated, improving safety while minimizing disruptions to surrounding communities. Stations are designed for smooth connections with other transport systems, making commuting faster and easier than ever before. And with trains capable of reaching speeds of up to 160 kilometers per hour, passengers will experience a level of efficiency the country has never seen. But one of the most groundbreaking features lies behind the scenes. The NSCR will become the first mainline railway in Southeast Asia to use the European Train Control System, or ETCS Level 2, a highly advanced signaling technology that automates train operations, improves safety, and maximizes efficiency. To make it happen, global industry giants Hitachi Rail and Alstom are providing state-of-the-art railway systems designed for world-class performance. And beneath the tracks, the engineering is just as impressive. The railway will use advanced ballastless tracks with concrete sleepers for greater durability and smoother rides. Special urethane railroad ties will reduce wear and improve stability, while continuous welded rails will minimize vibration and noise, creating a quieter, more comfortable journey for passengers. Behind the scenes, massive maintenance depots will keep the entire system running efficiently, ensuring trains stay reliable and disruptions are kept to a minimum. For millions of Filipinos, this project represents more than infrastructure. It represents time returned, opportunities unlocked, and a future where daily commuting no longer feels like a battle just to get home. At the center of this massive railway network sits the Milan Depot in Valenzuela, the command hub of the entire operation. Think of it as the brain of the system. This is where train movements are monitored, operations are coordinated, and the entire railway is kept running smoothly day and night. But Milan isn't working alone. Additional depots in Mabalacat and Banlic will serve as critical maintenance and storage facilities, making sure trains stay in peak condition and ready for service at all times. And this project isn't just about building something new, it's also about bringing old infrastructure back to life. More than 420 bridges are being rehabilitated, while 15 brand new stations are rising across the network. In some sections, modern diesel multiple unit trains will also be introduced to improve reliability and operational flexibility. But this railway goes far beyond making commutes easier. It's about reconnecting an entire country. The planned 266-kilometer North Line extension will stretch far beyond Metro Manila, reaching all the way to San Fernando City in La Union, with future expansions targeting Nueva Ecija and even Cagayan Province. To the South Long Haul project will span an incredible 561 kilometers, linking Metro Manila to southern Luzon, key economic zones, and major international seaports. This isn't just transportation infrastructure anymore. It's a nationwide transformation. A project capable of reshaping trade, business, tourism, and regional development for decades to come. But with a project this massive, challenges were inevitable. And one of the biggest battles has been securing the right-of-way. In crowded urban areas, that means relocating informal settlers, negotiating with private landowners, and navigating an incredibly slow and complicated legal process. While the government has offered financial assistance to affected families, progress has often moved at a frustrating pace. Then came the pandemic. COVID-19 disrupted global supply chains, slowed construction, limited workforce capacity, and forced strict health restrictions that pushed timelines even further behind. And even without those setbacks, the engineering challenge alone is enormous. Engineers are building elevated railways above some of the busiest cities in the country, while also designing around flood-prone areas and ensuring the entire system can withstand major earthquakes. Every kilometer requires precision. Every structure demands world-class planning, and every delay raises the pressure even higher. Yet, despite the obstacles, the vision remains unchanged. A fast, modern, fully connected railway system that could completely redefine transportation in the Philippines. The road to get here hasn't been easy, but once completed, the NSCR could become one of the greatest infrastructure achievements in Philippine history. And for millions of Filipinos, that future may be worth the wait. Because building a world-class railway isn't just about laying tracks. It's about overcoming every obstacle standing in the way. One of the toughest challenges? Climate resilience. Engineers have had to design the railway to survive extreme weather, severe flooding, and decades of wear and tear, adding even more complexity to an already massive project. At the same time, rising inflation and soaring material costs have placed enormous pressure on the budget. And then, there's the issue everyone keeps asking about, the delays. Original plans aim to open the Tutuban-Malolos line by 2025. But after years of setbacks, that goal now looks unlikely. Partial operations are currently expected around 2028, while full completion is projected for 2031. Still, many remain skeptical. Can the project actually stay on schedule? Or will it become another unfinished promise delayed by politics, bureaucracy, and construction hurdles? Government officials continue to express confidence, insisting progress is moving forward, but with right-of-way disputes, engineering difficulties, and years of delays already behind it, The pressure is mounting. And beyond transportation, the NSCR has become something even bigger, a symbol of international cooperation and geopolitical influence. Japan, the Asian Development Bank, and the Japan International Cooperation Agency, better known as JICA, are all heavily involved in funding and supporting the railway. For Japan, this goes beyond infrastructure. It's a strategic investment. By backing one of the Philippines' largest transportation projects, Japan strengthens its economic ties and regional influence across Southeast Asia, while also counterbalancing China's growing presence in the region. Meanwhile, organizations like the ADB view the NSCR as a blueprint for the future, a project that could modernize transportation, accelerate economic growth, and raise the standard for infrastructure development across emerging economies. And, if successful, this railway won't just move people faster. It could help move an entire nation forward. Despite the setbacks and delays, excitement around the project continues to grow. Because for millions of commuters, this railway represents something they've been waiting for decades: real relief. Every single day, people across Metro Manila battle endless traffic, overcrowded roads, and exhausting travel times just to get to work or make it home. And now, for the first time in years, many believe change is finally coming. This could finally fix the commuting nightmare, one commuter said. Another added, "It's exciting to see the Philippines finally catching up with world-class infrastructure." And they may be right, because when the Tutuban-Malolos line finally opens, it won't just be the launch of another railway system. It could mark the beginning of a completely new chapter for the Philippines. A future where travel becomes faster, easier, and more connected than ever before. The North South Commuter Railway is more than just a transportation project. It's a symbol of progress, a symbol of modernization, and, for many Filipinos, it's a sign that the country is finally moving toward the future it has long envisioned. The journey to get here has been filled with obstacles, delays, and uncertainty. But if this ambitious project succeeds, its impact could be felt for generations. And now, all eyes are on the tracks ahead, because the future of transportation in the Philippines is no longer just a vision. It's finally on its way. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more incredible infrastructure stories and game-changing projects.